All right, everyone. We'll open with a statement from Coach, and then we'll get to questions.
Obviously, really proud of our players, our coaches, not just their effort because that's been there all year, but really how their resolve. We've been through a lot of adversity, and I challenged them this week. We got to find a way, to grind out of this thing. And I thought they battled. I thought the kids battled. I thought the coaches battled. Really proud of their competitive spirit. Really proud of their effort. Hopefully, the 75 in heaven were smiling today. I hope that tailgate for the 75 herd members was pleased with how we played. Obviously, winning the game is ultimately what we go out to do every week. But I think I challenge these guys to be remembered by how we play. And I told them, if you go out and play to be remembered by how you play, there's a good chance that the execution will match. And I think the execution showed up today. I thought today was probably the first time all season that we played a complete game. Complete doesn't mean perfect, but complete means all three phases had a part. Today was the first time we did that I can remember, or at least for a long time. And I thought when you do that, you give yourself a chance to play complementary football. Where there's some things we still got to get cleaned up, absolutely. Where there's some things that we did really well, did we do some things discipline-wise that probably made it a little tougher than it needed to be? Absolutely. But ultimately, we executed well enough. The players executed well enough today to get the win. And that's a good football team over there. Obviously, their record's better than ours. They've already secured bowl eligibility. They got an unbelievable quarterback. I thought their wideouts and pass game was on. So we beat a good team tonight, and I think that has a lot to do with the players' consistency and approach. You guys ask me every week, how's their mindset? I told they come in and they work. And I think when you do that, not only in football but in life, regardless of what happens to you, you come in with the same mindset of how can I improve? I think a lot of times things work out better than not. So really proud of every single person in this organization, really proud of every single player, every single coach, trainer, doctors. This building has been through adversity, but you wouldn't be able to tell it when you walk through here. People come in, do their jobs, players come in, look at ways to get better. Coaches come in, keep grinding, keep scratching. We got a long way to go. And obviously, we got some fighting to do to try to extend our season. One more game. That's all we're trying to do. Come back next week and play one more complete game. That's all we're doing. We got one game left on the schedule and trying to find a way to play one more game. But really proud of the players tonight, really proud of their competitive character, really proud of their fight in adversity. And again, I hope that your dad is smiling tonight. I really do. That means a lot. You're one of the guys who, up or down, you're first class. And I really hope your dad's smiling tonight, buddy. Thanks. With that, I open up with questions.
Obviously, Cole gets the run at quarterback tonight. Thanks. What about him in practice this week made you confident in just overall evaluation? I thought he played well.
Yeah, obviously Cam was unavailable. We kind of knew that early in the week, so we kind of had a plan to kind of get Cole ready this week. I thought he did a good job with what we asked him to do all week in practice. I thought he did some good things in the game. I thought he did some things we got to improve on. We have an issue right now on offense of turning the ball over. That's everybody included, quarterback, running back, everything. I thought he managed the game well. He didn't try to do too much. Or there's some throws he'd love to have back, or there's some reads he'd love to have back. Obviously, you guys don't see it all. There's a couple times in there where he pulled it and made some really good throws on some RPOs. There's a couple times in there he maybe should have gave it. Obviously, I have to look at the film. But ultimately, I think he played well enough in his role for us to get the victory. Part of that, I challenged the guys around him this week, not to be Superman, but you got to do your job a little bit better. So I think DeMarcus Harris is a good example of that. I challenged the guys, hey, if he throws it to you, man, break a tackle. I mean, that might be the first tackle we've broke on an RPO, all season. But that's the difference. That's the difference. And I'm not saying our guys haven't been trying to do that, but that's the difference. You don't have to throw the ball down the field 160 yards to get a good pass play. You got to be able to break some tackles, execute. I know I say that all the time, and everybody gets tired of it, but that's the difference. He did a really good job. Cole delivered a good ball. Guy broke a tackle, went down the sideline. We've probably called that play 300 times this year. And I'm not demeaning what they did tonight, but that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. That's the difference. We were able to do the things execution-wise to help Cole, to help the running game, to help the O-line. I challenged him. I said, no one has to be Superman, but Cole's going to start. Obviously, it's his first time starting. You guys got to do your job really well. That's it. And I thought they did that.
Coach, and you'll look at the numbers and how he performed, and you'll see the film, like you said. But he got hit on that first series. He also had those 2 fumble recoveries, and you talked about resolve of your whole team. That sort of exemplifies what you're talking about.
Yeah, I thought obviously we're not going to play a perfect game. Nobody does. But there are some times in there where just a little bit more effort gives you a chance to make a wrong right, if that makes sense. I bet if we go back and look at the film, it's probably 50-50. We got to block better. Cole's probably got to step up, a little bit more timing. But that comes with experience. Again, not everything's going to be perfect. We can't give you every look in practice, as far as we can't say, okay, tackle, get beat on this play, how are you going to respond? But I thought as the game went on, he kind of got in a rhythm. I thought really good job by our offensive staff of kind of coming up with the next plan or the next solution. Running game showed up today. Ali is probably as close to healthy as he's been all year. He's been kind of, grinding along. O-line wise, I thought in the run game we did some really good things. Got to shore up some of the pass stuff. But I thought that those couple plays by Cole, the diving for the ball, those couple plays are the difference between honoring the 75 by how you play and just going out and playing. That little bit of effort gives a chance to get the ball back, not a catastrophe. Those are things that quarterbacks got to do. We got to continue to do that moving forward.
Offensively, was that the first time Clint's been down on the field to coach?
Yeah, he came down just because Cole. It's a little bit different talking to a guy on the phone. You can't look him in his eye. You can't really get a feel for him. Obviously Cam has been in the game before, so he'll be a little bit more communicative with what he likes, what he doesn't like. Clint came down just to kind of be right there with Cole. Just to kind of – it's one thing – I don't know if you've ever had a girlfriend, but you talk on the phone and you say, hey, I miss you. And she could be like, I miss you too. But it's another thing when you look her in the eye, So it's another thing to look the kid in the eye, even when you say, hey, how do you feel about X, Y, and Z? Okay, you look him in the eye, he feels really good. Or it's another thing to kind of look him in the eye after he gets hit. Is he kind of got the, okay, we need to settle him down. So we made that move early in the week based on, knowing we were going to need to go with Cole, so to help him just kind of feel what he was also hearing, if that makes sense.
Did you like the way that felt as a head coach having your OC down there?
You guys they can go coach over at Sheets if we win. That doesn't matter to me. I think depending on your setup, as long as you got enough eyes in the box to get good information, you got enough eyes on the field to get good information, it's 6 and 1.5 dozen. Whatever we got to do to win. And I told the guy, whatever we got to do to win. Now, 3 years from now, does Cole need somebody there holding his hand? Who knows? That's a different deal. But I thought manage the situation the way we have to manage it. And I thought, obviously, him being down there helped, communicate a little bit better, so Cole was able to kind of give information, get information, same deal.
Coach, that Wildcat was a wrinkle they never really figured out. That was pretty effective stuff.
That's why I don't let you guys come to practice. See? No, we're trying to find a way to move the ball on offense, man. We have not been good at it consistently, and we've been good in spurts. Obviously, we knew we didn't want to put Cole in a situation where he was trying to throw it a ton of times, not just because he couldn't, but just everything around him, protection, routes, everything. So trying to find a way, I challenged the coaches this week to find solutions. We all know what the issues are, so find solutions. And that was something that gave us a chance to kind of have something a little bit different. Take a little bit off of Cole, take a little bit off the O-line, take a little bit off the receivers, and kind of have a better kind of flow and rhythm, on offense.
Defensively, a lot of pressure on the quarterback tonight. I thought that was big, considering their pass-heavy offense and the way he can kind of take command when he's got time. But y'all didn't give him much time tonight. Yeah,
hats off to the D-line. Those guys led by Owen Porter and Sam Burton, Mike Green stepping up, Chris Thomas is stepping up, Tyquez Legs. All those guys. Gibby. Rivera, Harvey, all those guys are stepping up. I thought defensively, staff-wise, we kind of got a feel for where he was going to be, what he was going to do. I think Coach Seymour and the staff did a really good job of saying, okay, hey, if we can take away certain first reads, he's going to hold on to it a little bit longer. I think they mixed the pictures up a couple times to kind of keep him off balance. Again, JJ was back. So now you can do a little bit more in the back end, communication-wise and kind of disguise-wise. We're starting, we don't want to, but, I mean, Amir and A.J. McGee are getting a ton of reps, which is getting them a little bit more experience. Again, I thought it was a combination of players executing, coaches adjusting and coming up with solutions. How can we, kind of mix the picture up on them a little bit? We watched a bunch of the games where, he did really well, games where he struggled and kind of found that middle ground. I think he's a heck of a quarterback because we got to him a bunch, mixed the picture up a bunch, and he was still able to kind of take him down right down there to the end. But ultimately, we were able to keep him off balance just long enough.
How big was the start tonight? I mean, kickoff return for touchdown set the tone.
Yeah, I think, again, they're 18 to 22-year-olds, so they're extremely emotion driven. We haven't been home in a month on a Saturday. It matters. To hear the crowd yelling for you when something goes well, it matters. Not an excuse. It is what it is. We got to play the schedule, but to get the crowd behind us that early, to get something positive to happen, it's been 5 weeks of kind of grinding it out. To get something positive to happen is just a little bit of juice, enough juice to kind of say, hey, let's everybody take another step. And I think, again, special teams has been, the kickoff return unit, I'll say, has been a unit that's really kind of given us some life, and that really sparked tonight.
Any further questions?
Thanks, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody, appreciate every single person that was in the crowd tonight. I really hope that the 75 in heaven really appreciated how these players, these coaches showed up for them tonight. Was it perfect? No. But I think and hope that everybody can appreciate the effort that the players put in tonight. So thanks, guys. Go Herd.